Okay. Okay, thank you. And then
Yep. Okay.
hello.
Hello.
Hi, thank you for joining. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, we are not live, actually.
Okay.
I got an error message. So let me just see. It might be my the browser I'm trying to use. Okay, nope, we are live.
Oh, I was just scratching my nose and everything. All right, whatever.
That's all right. We're live. We're authentic here. So today, everyone, I have Vanessa with me. This is super special for me. Vanessa and I have known each other for probably 13 or 14 years. We have daughters the same age. We have shared many experiences together. Just, life seems to keep bringing us back together, which I love, and I'm super grateful. And so I guess a couple years ago, Vanessa and I entered a private coaching relationship, and then she came back around and was like, what is this prosperity course? And what is your Hawaii retreat? Tell me all about it. So I felt super grateful that she came back into my life with the prosperity course, because I know when we did private coaching, like your relationship with money was a thing that came up, and that you also came to my retreat. So I just wanted to welcome you here today to just share what your experience was with us. So thank you for joining.
Well, thank you very much. So, all right. So I guess maybe I'll speak to the Hawaii. Do we want to, I guess I
Yeah.
can start with
Yeah. Tell
that.
us a little bit about the
Um,
retreat.
So, when I first saw the retreat, it just really spoke to me. It wasn't even like a logical thing. It was one of those things when you recognize something is for you, so it kind of felt like that. I was like, ooh, this is for me. So I'm just so glad I went. I mean, not only was it a fantastic experience with, um, the women in the group, they all felt like reflections of myself, different aspects. I think we were all reflections for each other. So, that was awesome. It was nice that it was intimate. The setting was beautiful, which, certainly helped. And the food was great. All right, I'm getting to the spiritual part.
Save the best
But
for last.
yeah. But I mean, it was just so wonderful. And I guess what I like so much about working with you, Jen, and it was similar there, is that when we are going to work on something, even if it's like you're working with someone, when I worked with you one-on-one, you immediately seem to have an exercise for it, which is great. So it goes from the head, you know what I mean, to the heart, at least for me. Because I don't really move until things, you know what I mean, hit in the heart. That's when it really lasts. And so for that, you always have an exercise for something. And so it's like I can immediately like embody it, I can feel it, I can get it, and then I take it with me. It's not something that I have to remember, you know what I mean, to do. It's like the change for me is right there in the present. And so that's what I like so much, about working with you. And yeah.
So what would you say? And thank you for that reflection, because I love to speak about energetic alignment and embodiment. It's less work. We don't have to remember anything. We just create that internal shift. What was the shift that you experienced, or what was kind of the takeaway we'll just start with the retreat during that experience for you?
Geez, there was a lot of takeaways. You know what? I really feel like I found my voice. I mean, I've been finding my voice over the years, but I really felt like, I really appreciated the opportunity to really just show up, you know what I mean, as who I was or who I am. And all the other women in the group did that as well. And we had vulnerable moments, but I think from the vulnerable moments, that's when you grow the most, and you take that with you. So when we, had that opportunity to bring whatever we wanted to the table, I don't know if it was like what it was called, but that was really, really powerful, for people to just share, who you were. And then I've just been able to bring that everywhere else, I go. So
Yeah.
that was a huge win.
Yeah. Christine and I actually had a session today, and one of the things that came through for everyone in the circle that you brought to that was that reflection of clarity with language, and just shifting in that clarity and confidence about the words that we use, and not really going like over explaining ourselves, and just being super clear about the words. And that's something that I noticed that you leaned into. And as you did that, you also gave the other women, including myself, that opportunity to speak more clearly with our words, because energy, I talk about this all the time, energy loves clarity. And so then that takes us into the prosperity course, because money is an energy that loves clarity. And that was also something that you participated in over the last couple months. So can you share a little bit with us about what inspired you to lean into learning more about your relationship to money, and what did you learn from that experience?
I feel like money can be so many things, right? It's like everything except money. Like I'm trying to, you know what I mean? It's like a representation of, you think it's about money, but it's about, fear of loss, or it's about control, or it's about, do you know what I mean? It's like never really money, if you will. And this is me personally, I feel like for some people, you know what I mean, money just isn't an issue. But I feel like managing money, creating abundance, creating prosperity is, for me, part of my spiritual path, you know? And so I'm always looking for ways, you know what I mean, to grow in that area. When we worked together, I don't know, a couple years ago, I had a huge increase in terms of abundance, career, and things like that. And so I'm just always looking forward to, you know what I mean, to move forward in that way. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that, because I when we worked a couple of years ago, you did make that like tangible physical breakthrough of like it showing up in your life with a new career role and a higher pay. And what I see is now where you are is it's so much bigger than that. Like now it's about helping your daughter to understand a healthy relationship. It's like now we're totally rewriting karmic generational beliefs, whatever. And it's like you get to hand your daughter this new imprint, and she gets to move forward with it. And you're also looking at ways to start expanding your income. You're realizing that you're in a place that you are super grateful for, and you're looking at ways to expand in whatever way that looks like, as long as it's a lot of what you shared is, from a place of joy, and that you enjoy it moving forward, which is a lot of the energy that we talk about. And I love that you shared money is really just the external thing. For those that don't know Vanessa, she also went to, this isn't even her role in her career, but she did study at the Integrative Institute for Integrated Nutrition. So she has a background in nutrition. So we look at those things like those are just external things, both of those, food, money, relationships, that reflect back to us our inner belief system. So what was the biggest shift for you in your relationship to money in that course?
It's funny. Sometimes the biggest shifts would happen when someone else was talking. You know what I mean? Like when you were working with someone else, and it would be like, oh, right, that's me. Or it might not even be me, but it might be that last little, you know what I mean? There's strength in working one-on-one, but there's also power in groups, And
Yeah.
so just having that, I think one thing, I think really linking my values to money and not looking at things as spending, but looking at it as investing. Anything you do, is this where I want to invest my money? is this where I want to invest my resources, invest my time? Yeah. And
I love
so,
that.
really looking at that. Yeah.
Love that. So
Um,
shifting from being more intentional, which goes along with that clarity and that energy. It's like the energy that you put into it, because that's what expands in our lives. I love that. What would you say, just for people who are listening who might be new to me, in the courses that you've done or anything that you've ever done over your life, because I know you've done a couple different things, what would you say is different about working with me, the space that I provide?
One, I feel like you're very loving, you're very genuine. You really want whoever you're working with to get as much as they can, you know. I really enjoy how you pivot. You work very much in the present. Like you'll have an idea, of what we're gonna cover or what the, hopefully the goal is or whatever we're gonna address, but you're also willing to stay present and go, you know what, I just had this idea or this just came in. Or for some reason, what you have planned might not, you know what I mean? It might not be the most appropriate, then you'll come up with something else. And so I really appreciate that.
Thank you. I'm receiving that. Yeah, like Mother Nature.
Yep, yep.
Sometimes you just have to let Mother Nature make the call.
Hmm.
Um, so thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing all that. What would you say to your former self, where you are now, like a couple years ago? What would you say to her, knowing what you know now?
Um, First thing that came to my mind is, girl, don't worry so much. You
Yeah,
know? Yeah, yeah. Don't worry so much. When something is truly aligned, like when you truly get that spark to do something, you know what I mean? I think that's the universe saying that the doors are lined up, you know what I mean, and to move forward. Um, yeah. But when it's truly aligned, when you're doing it just, you know what I mean, because it brings you joy or you're really excited about it, then that's the way to go.
awesome. I love that 100%. Well, Vanessa, thank you so much for sharing your experience with us on Facebook Live today. Thank you for everybody else for joining in, and we'll see you next time. So I am just going to
Thanks,
stop
Jen.
recording.